Ben and Jen, President Katherine Bergeron announced today that she will be resigning at the end of this semester. It's something that several members of the campus community have been calling for. After weeks of protests demanding the resignation of Connecticut College's president, Katherine Bergeron announced Friday that she'll be stepping down. In a statement, she said in part, "Certainly the road has not always been easy. It never is when the work is so important and the goal so ambitious. The past several weeks have proven particularly challenging, and as president, I fully accept my share of responsibility for the circumstances that have led us to this moment." Earlier this year, the school's Dean of Institutional Equity and Inclusion resigned after the college scheduled a fundraising event at a Florida country club that had been accused of discrimination and anti-Semitism in the past.
Dean King's resignation was the straw that broke the camel's back, and we decided that that was the last straw.
That sparked protests about what students called a need for institutional change. The group, Student Voices for Equity, created a list of demands that included hiring more Black, Indigenous, and people of color faculty and staff, more resources, and the president's resignation.
More than anything, this is about an institutional culture of inequity and inequality. And we know that Connecticut College is not the only institution that faces it.
Faculty and staff showed their support for students' protests, canceling classes while students occupied an administrative building for days. In response to Bergeron's announcement, Student Voices for Equity released a statement that reads in part, "The resignation of Katherine Bergeron is a result of collective efforts to invoke positive change at this institution. We are hopeful that this step will allow us to move forward as a community." In its statement, the Board of Trustees listed Bergeron's accomplishments in her 9 years as president, including creating the college's first division of institutional equity and inclusion and enrolling the largest first-year class in the college's history, saying in part, "The board thanks President Bergeron for her visionary leadership and steadfast commitment to Connecticut College." The Board of Trustees says it will be naming an interim president and creating a search committee for the next president, made up of students, staff, faculty, and trustees. In the studio, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.